Most men believe attraction is about saying something clever, making a woman laugh, or immediately grabbing her attention. But what if I told you the opposite is actually true? What if the men who create the strongest attraction aren't the ones trying to impress at all, but the ones who simply choose their words differently? Because there are 3 words older men tend to use naturally in conversation that quietly trigger attraction in a woman's mind. Words that signal confidence, emotional awareness, and clarity. And here's the part most men never realize. These words aren't complicated. They're simple, but their impact runs deep, beneath the surface, in ways younger men often completely miss. I'm Lauren, and welcome to the Lauren Psychology Diary. Today, we're going to explore these 3 words and why they matter more than anything you might have been taught about picking up someone. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand the psychology behind attraction, but you'll also be able to start using these words in everyday conversations, naturally, confidently, and without trying too hard. Let's pause for a moment. I want you to think about your own experiences. Have you ever felt drawn to someone? Not because of a joke they told or a flashy line, but because of the way they made you feel. Maybe they were calm, attentive, and present. Maybe you left that conversation feeling seen, appreciated, or understood in a way that lingered with you long after. That feeling, that quiet but undeniable pull, is exactly what these 3 words create when used correctly. And here's the truth. Attraction isn't built on flashy phrases or trying too hard. It's built on emotional signals, subtle intention, and the perception of authenticity. Before we get to the 3 words, there's something you need to understand about communication with women. Men tend to focus on the literal meaning of a sentence. They hear, "I want coffee," and think, "That's simple enough." Women, however, focus on the emotional signal behind the sentence, your tone, your intention, your presence. These nonverbal cues often speak louder than the words themselves. 2 men can say the exact same thing, but one feels uncertain and the other grounded. One feels like he's trying too hard, the other like he's simply being himself. And women notice that difference immediately. This is why older men often have an advantage when it comes to attraction. Not because they are inherently more attractive, but because they communicate with a mindset that doesn't rely on performance. They aren't trying to prove themselves. They aren't reaching for clever lines. They simply express what they think and feel, calmly and confidently. That presence carries weight, and women respond to it, often without even realizing why. Now, let's talk about the first word. Want. At first glance, it seems simple, even obvious. But psychologically, it sends a powerful signal. When a man clearly expresses what he wants, he communicates intention, something most men unconsciously avoid. Think about how many men soften their language when they're interested in a woman. "Maybe we could hang out sometime if you want." Or, "I don't know, what do you feel like doing?" Polite, yes, but hesitant. And hesitation weakens attraction. Compare that with a simple, direct statement. "I want to take you out for coffee this weekend." The difference isn't just the words. The difference is direction, clarity, and calm confidence. One sentence asks for permission. The other expresses intention. Women don't respond to control. They respond to clarity and emotional comfort. Want is not aggression. It's honesty. And when honesty is present in a conversation, it immediately creates a space that feels genuine, relaxed, and real. The second word is because. It's small, almost invisible, but it adds depth and meaning to your statements. Attention is attractive. When you explain the reason behind your actions or words, you communicate that you notice and care about the details that matter. Instead of saying, "I enjoy talking to you," you could say, "I enjoy talking to you because you notice things most people miss." That subtle shift changes everything. Now the interaction feels personal, meaningful, and engaging. Specificity makes someone feel seen, and feeling seen is the foundation of attraction. And the third word, this is the one most men completely overlook, is appreciate. Appreciation is different from a compliment. A compliment often focuses on surface-level traits, appearance, style, or charm. Appreciation recognizes something deeper, character, thoughtfulness, presence. Saying, "I appreciate how thoughtful you are," instead of, "You're beautiful," signals that you notice who she truly is, not just what she looks like. Recognition is incredibly powerful because most people rarely feel truly seen. Emotional connection grows naturally when someone recognizes something meaningful about us. There's a mistake many men make that undermines the power of these words, and it's called incongruence. Incongruence happens when your words communicate confidence, but your body language says the opposite. Saying, "I want to see you again," while looking at the floor, speaking hesitantly, or fidgeting, signals uncertainty. Women are deeply attuned to these subtle emotional cues. Tone of voice, posture, and eye contact all speak volumes, sometimes louder than the words themselves. Real confidence isn't about speaking loudly or trying to impress. It's about being comfortable with yourself, your intentions, and your presence. When a man communicates from this grounded place, conversations feel natural, authentic, and engaging. That's when attraction grows, not because of the words alone, but because of the emotional experience those words create.